Woo! Morning. Morning. Expected championship, not surprised. SW, congrats. That was like my second pick to win the finals, and I believe they're a good team. They're a great team, like I said, and I'm not surprised when they won, and it was going to win their fourth championship. You know, Boston was a little inexperienced. They did a great job against they're probably the best experienced team that I've seen in a long time that took them to 6 games. And Warriors execution and the same style of the Spurs system actually matters. And I hate to say that I'm a big Spurs person. But when you see the old systems of the Celtics system, I kind of appreciate it. You know, I'm not big on the old Celtics, but I did like Bill Russell and that style they have. You see it in the game, it's gotten better and better. The Spurs just make it look easy when you put the right players into it. So Steph got his fourth championship. You know, we're around the same age, and you want something like that. You want to see that. You want to see a championship like that. You actually want to see somebody win like that. So Steph is kind of like basically up there. Now he's in that territory with LeBron. Now, if he wins one next year, it's to need to be expected. Warriors is a great team. They didn't have those injuries. That's true. They can win one next year. I see them go again because, see, the Lakers is not the team I would see in the future. They're just going to be a team that's going to be a playoff team. Obviously, they expect to win champion. No, they're not. They're just going to be what they are. They're going to be trash as years. Y'all didn't get off this Kobe and Shaq shit. That was in my era. The Lakers ain't going nowhere, bro. They are not going anywhere. No one cares about that team. They're going to be like the Red Sox at best. They're just going to be a great team to watch. They're just not going to be that team winning championships. Nobody wants the Lakers. I couldn't be a Lakers fan. I'm sorry. I just look at them what they are. Your originals of the NBA that won championships back in the day in the 40s. That would be your Warriors, your Celtics, well, Lakers, and then Celtics, and then others. It's your originals. You did have the Rochester Royals. They won back in the day as well. They was one of the few in the 50s won. They known as the Kings now. And then you had the what's the historical team that won in the 50s? The Nats, known as the Sixers now. So you got all your originals are in finals and championships, what they were. So I know my NBA history. I've been knowing my NBA history for years. But a lot of people don't give me credit in certain space, but fuck them. But you know, because I used to play ball in the day, so I understand the game more than most people because I played the sport. I can tell you about that for hours. But it's pretty much, you know, Steph Curry, you know, championship, pretty much what you see him winning, and I'm not surprised. I did saw the game last night. I was very impressed. Finally, he got a Finals MVP. Finally. Now, you want to be the face of the league, you got to have that. Yeah, you're unanimous, but now you got a Finals MVP. You already been the face of the league for the past almost decades, which is pretty good because you already in status. Now you're going to get more status after this championship. And if he wins the next one, he gets more. He's up there. He already done accomplished what he needed to accomplish. Now he gets in that fifth championship. I don't think he's going to win another one, but if he does win another one, he's still got some games left. I believe the Warriors will win another one. But it's a possibility they'll lose next year. We might see a series again. We might see the Celtics and the Warriors again. I'll tell you that right now. And this is a history lesson to people. The last time they played was back in '64. Now the Warriors, this is their very first time. This is the first time this team has won in San Francisco. In case y'all don't know, the last couple of championships they won in the Bay Area was in Oakland. I don't guess y'all know that because they had a curse over them based off San Francisco. Now, San Francisco, when they went to San Francisco a long time ago with Wilt and everything else, when they were the Philadelphia Warriors, they couldn't win one. Somewhere around the 70s, they moved to Oakland on the other side across the town. They started winning championships in '75. And after that, they stopped. They was good in Oakland for years and years. Everybody remembers Mitch Richmond. They remember Chris Mullin, Mitch Richmond, and Tim Hardaway. Run TMC. Tim Hardaway, Mitch Richmond, and Chris Mullin. You already know where they went in the mid-'90s. One went to Indiana. That was Chris Mullin. One went to Sacramento, one of my favorite teams in the world. One of the top favorite teams I like in the Western Conference. That fun to watch in the 90s. That was Mitch Richmond. He went to that team. And then Tim went to my other team that I always liked. It was Miami, competing with the Bulls. So the Warriors, I didn't really care for them as a team. Historically, I never really liked them, but I respect them because they had a hell of a fan base. So they beat that curse off them. Thanks to shouts out to Steph for that, because I feel like he did something. Now you could say he's great for doing that. So all the other championships came from Oakland, and I think the first two came from Philadelphia, I believe. I think the first one was from Joe Folks, the first Philadelphia team, the Warriors. The first two, and then the other one came from, what's his name, Paul Arizin, a long time ago with the jump shot. He didn't have a set shot. He had a jump shot. He had an arc and everything. Those last two championships before their very first two were in Philadelphia, and then the others were in Oakland. And this last one they got now is in San Francisco, and they finally got one. They finally got one in San Francisco. So that's like 3 cities. So they made some history last night. Even though everybody wanted the Celtics to win, but they were young, experienced team. That's the first young, inexperienced team I've seen in a long time that took a team that's great to the next level. And I will say this, both teams will be back in the finals probably next year, because we don't know. See, NBA is consistent. It's about dynasties and legacies and things like that. And I believe basketball's like baseball a little bit. You don't know who's going to get there in this newer NBA, but it's still the same consistency with teams to show who shows up in the season. I would say the Celtics have the same Spurs system. They'll be back. Giannis, I don't know how long that's going to last, because their coaching is terrible. They had PJ Tucker. Miami's not going back. Miami's not going. The only reason why Bucks didn't have anything, they got rid of PJ Tucker. You can't blame Chris Middleton for that. It's just bad coaching. Same style system, just like the Celtics and the Warriors. They all came from the Popovich tree. You already know who the coaches they came from. Ime Udoka came from Pop. Budenholzer. Kerr was a player, and he understands the coaching system. So the Spurs system will always win, but it goes back to Don Nelson's system. He was a Celtic. It's the same system. They learned from Bill Russell. So it works. Offense and defense, it works. So it's pretty much, you got the same teams once again. Like, history repeats itself. So the Warriors, I see them win again. I mean, quiet as kept. I like certain teams in the West. I like Luka and them. I would love to see that. You know, what's going to stop them is going to be Dallas and a few other teams. But if Curry still's got it, and he's already in his prime. He's on the tail end of it real soon when he gets older, because we're around the same age. So pretty much Curry is going to be that guy. He's going to be that guy for the future, because I feel like the Warriors will win probably next year's championship if they have a great season, because they can get some few pieces and help guys, and they'll go to the Warriors. Everybody's chasing for a ring. Well, the Warriors is a good fit. It's a nice name. Basic ass colors like the Celtics. 3 basic teams is known to win multiple championships: the Warriors, Celtics, and the Lakers. They're your originals of the NBA, and they live in association. So it's a whole nother story. If I want to get into NBA history, I can do a whole stream on that. Probably this Sunday, but I got to talk about that Juneteenth, because I did a stream on that, roasting niggas having their own holiday, and people call it Nigga Day. While I was coming up, me and my dad talked about that a couple of weeks ago. They used to call it Nigga Day, which they did in certain places where I'm from in Tennessee. That's what they call it back then. They used to have their day. You know, we'll get them later. And that's how they treat them. So I'll talk about that Sunday, because I did a whole stream last year without a microphone and see how I sounded then. And I was talking my shit then. I don't see who's in the chat. So today I just want to do this stream. It's not gonna be long, because you know it's not gonna be dumb long like normal. But it's pretty much, I'm not gonna be out there for like hours. This is gonna be a short stream. We're gonna see. I want to see what the time is like. So I got 10 minutes. So it's 9:49. I'll say about 10:30 I might cut this off, because I want to talk about the playoffs for a minute. I want to talk about this. Is probably the best playoffs I've ever seen in a long time, since last year. Last year was great. This year was kind of fucking fun. I enjoyed all the games. Even the hockey one is good too, because they had that pandemic period. So it's 2022 is a great year. It's a great year for sports. So sports is basically, we're in it. So it's pretty much what you see all around. So yeah, he the face of the league. He's always been the face of the league since he won that championship. Even with the Kevin Durant upgrade, but they didn't need Kevin Durant to win it. That was Steph Curry saying that. Yeah, he's a Finals MVP. The reason he couldn't get Finals MVP the other two times, Kevin. It's true, because that's the LeBron factor. But Steph, I'm going to tell you this about Steph. Steph allowed that to happen. He allowed that to happen. He had leadership. He's a franchise player. They're not going to get rid of Steph. And Steph stayed. He showed you consistency. He's married. He got everything. Once you got them championship rings, you ain't worried about your hoish wife running around. Want other men. Steph don't really care about that. He's selfless. Even though he's a Pisces, but, he is what he is. Steph don't really care. He can replace her anytime. But he's got children by it. I don't think he would. He's just being nice. He ain't vicious. Yeah, he's a little petty. But Steph is going to be who he is. But Steph is going to be Steph. And salute to the Warriors. I'm not a Warriors fan. Salute to them for that championship. I prefer to see them win it than the Lakers. That's just me. See, I'm not a Lakers fan. I don't care for that. The Warriors is okay. I still like Klay Thompson. Don't get me wrong. He's one of my favorite players on that team, besides Kevin Durant. Kevin's okay, but he acts like a little bitch sometimes. Even I get on my favorite players that act like divas sometimes. But when it comes to Klay, 4 rings. Draymond got 4 championships. Draymond got 4 championships. Now he can talk his shit now. The man's got 4 rings. They don't need us. They just playing. Well, one thing I can say, even that championship, I know people wanted the Celtics to win. I know online, but, it's just the way it is. The Cards have it right. The Warriors were just a better team that series. They had the experience. The experience of them winning the championship is pretty much why I say all along, the experience is what's going to keep them there. And that's basically what it is. Salute, Alonzo, salute. The experience is what brought the Warriors to win those championships. And their first championship, they had no business winning. That should have been Cleveland's. That I still stand on that to this day. But Steph deserved it. Quiet as kept, he deserved it, because that showed you, even they was badly beat up, it don't matter. The NBA Finals, they don't want to hear that. It's how you finish. It's always been that way. They don't care if you banged up. Isaiah Thomas had to learn the hard way when he had an ankle injury back in '88. And I was born around that time, and I don't remember much of it, but I did saw the highlight when I was young, when I was 10. He had to make no excuse, but that next year he whooped that ass and swept him. You gotta have a mentality to win. And the only way you can do that, you gotta shut people up. And it works. And Steph does it all the time. See, this championship, he could say, I got one. I got a finals. Now he can't say shit. He's unanimous. He's that. That's too much. He's already the face at this point. He wins another one, and if he gets another unanimous MVP, if he wants to play MVP of next year and you won a championship, he can get another finals MVP. That's even better. What point guard can say that? Not everybody can say that. That's the challenge. The threat is everybody wants to be like Steph. You're not Steph. Steph is in the gym every day. See, he understood what Kobe did. All the greats did it. Will made that template. What the NBA Finals was. See, I work out every day. I lift weights, walk around, stretch. I do all that shit. I used to play sports, and I know, and that shit's still stuck into me to this day. I always lift weights, always exercise. Diet and exercise, I kind of preach on this channel a little bit. I don't preach as much. If I had another channel, I would invest into that and show you what I've done in weights and what I've learned and things like that. I'm still learning, combat weights and all that stuff. I used to do legs all the time in the apartment. I'm just trying to find a proper gym, max my body out and be all right. So I'm at the right age to lift weights. But a lot of people don't understand. I believe in that. Always exercise. I ain't touched the basketball in a minute. That was probably 2014. I'm probably a little rusty. I got to get back in shape, legs shape, and all that stuff to get back into it. See, anytime I see great championships win, even the teams I don't fucking like, I still appreciate them finishing a team off. Stop with this goofy ass fandom. Say we all want a game. It don't work that way. You put them away when it comes to the championship. But the NBA Finals show you it's fun when it's a game 6 and a game 5. The best team wins. That's what the finals represent to me. It's not about who holding their nuts in the air and trying to say, oh, it's gonna be a great 7 and all this weird. No, motherfucker. Put them away. If they didn't show up in whatever land, put them away. And it's pretty much it. You cannot expect a team like the Golden State Warriors or GSW, wherever y'all want to call them, and they beat the curse. They won one in San Francisco. They shut everybody up last night, and I'm glad they did because they had the right rudiments, even though they were a little banged up and a little older, but it don't matter if they was an older team, they had the Spurs system, and it works. No matter how many times they shoot many threes, that's their template. But they do more than shooting threes. They go inside and out. They are a well-balanced team. They got to stop shooting threes, and they realized they stopped shooting threes. They clogged up the middle for Boston. They stopped Boston for who they were. See, Boston has the same style that they have. They both the same type teams on the Spurs system. All they miss is black silver jerseys. Every team is kind of using that damn near. You don't have to shoot threes. I see mid-range and shooting threes now. But people shooting way more threes because of Steph. But that shit's going to change. You can do both, mid-range and shoot threes on the tail end of possession. That's how I play and finish the team off. But if you want to go start in the game, go inside all the time. Get physical. You want some physicality every now and then because it's exciting. Most people would rather see that than you shooting threes all day. See, threes wear you down. I know for experience, shooting wears you down. You get tired real quick. People hit you in your midsection, your legs. A lot of elevation. Shooting's nice. Don't get me wrong. Shooting the basketball is cool, but you got to walk and pace, run, glide, positioning, and all that. Because I used to do that in high school. And we used to have a lot of conditioning, and especially in the heat too. Because the last time I played in the hottest heat was 104 degrees. It was a county called Tipton County, next door to Shelby County. That's Memphis, where I come from. I'm originally from the middle part of Tennessee, and I'll never forget. This is back when I was 19. It was years ago. Hottest fucking summer, I'll say, in July that year. Very fucking hot. Normal in West Tennessee. No joke. Niggas was crying about the fucking heat. I was not. I had a lot of water in my system, and that burned it like a Boilermaker, man. Doing windmills and 360. I was doing that shit. See, I was like 6'5" and a half at the time. Well, actually 6'5" at the time, even. Because I was 6'3" as a freshman, 6'5" now. 6'5" and a half now. But yeah, I used to play like that. I used to play like that in the day. See, old school basketball, the N1 shit, the old NBA, that was my type of style. I wasn't privy to threes. Threes, I just use them to blow out teams. One of my boys go up there and we just whooped them. I whooped on my cousin's ass in that summer. It was fun. I played against everybody in that state. I ain't saying I'm the best nigga up there. It's a lot of good niggas up there. I played with one of the best, you could say that. But I was known for my defense. Defense was my strong suit. But the offense was there. I just didn't get a lot of touches. But basketball was fun for me. It was fun for me. I didn't take it serious as much. I did take it serious when I was younger, but that shit changed and saw the way the game was going. I have love for it, but it was fun. I used to do that in the day. Basketball was fun. Get the right type of people around you. The chemistry works. So, unlike most hoe-ass people on the internet, but I understand things mesh well. You got to mesh well with people. And I think the Warriors, when you mesh well with great chemistry, you do some things like that. I know people don't like what I'm saying right now because I'm speaking on sports. I speak on various topics. I'm not just like a one-dimensional ass person. That's why you niggas so lame on here. You ain't got no life. Might as well bounce off this shit. I don't care about what no hoe-ass niggas say on the internet. Act like hoes off this shit all the time. I don't respect people like that. I respect professionals. Act like professionals, you know. And just keep the bullshit to yourself, man. But shouts out to that team that won the championship, man. Like, the winner of that series will win the championship, and I say the Warriors. I wasn't picking no winner in the championship because I think Boston could upset them or whatever because this is a weird championship. The teams that got eliminated from this playoffs won the championships last year. And that was the Bucks won and the Suns. They thought it was a repeat. Nope. It was a weird championship series. The Warriors are back. When the Warriors are back, that means they have a shot to win one. That was my second pick behind Phoenix. It was Phoenix first and then GSW. And the third pick, I had to say Dallas. Dallas is the more experienced team. And they would have had their first championship. If they did not have Golden State in the way or Phoenix in the way, Dallas could have won one. But the experience of Chris Paul and the Suns, they would have beat them. But see, what hurts the Suns? Injuries. Warriors is the experience. They already won the championship. So the Bucks was not injuries. They always want to say it's Chris Middleton's fault. No, it's not. It's the bad trade deals. And they let PJ Tucker go. That's what hurt the fucking Bucks. They would have been two-time champs if they want to, but they too stupid. That's Milwaukee for you. That's Milwaukee. It's Milwaukee. Milwaukee's a good team, but they're not the best team. They're not a dynasty-like team. They're just what they are. That's just won that one championship. Go back to 71 when they won yeah, that's old. That's old. I know about Tucker and Brogdon. Brogdon was a good upgrade, though. Brogdon wasn't going to do shit. But Tucker, they should have kept him. They were stupid to get rid of him. But, like I said, Bucks is not built like that. They repeat themselves who they are as teams. Most teams are based off their archetypes when they was birthed out of. Same with the Kings. Kings is cursed. I'll tell you a secret about the Kings. If you go back to their history as the Royals, they the same team. They just have front office issues. They have a lot of issues. Until they break that curse and have a right formula, that team will be a powerhouse in the Pacific if they wanted to. It's too easy now. The Lakers ain't going nowhere. LeBron's not winning another one. He's on a decline because when Steph won that championship, he's right next to LeBron, and if he passed LeBron, it's over. I don't see LeBron. LeBron lived his day. LeBron came in an era where the early 2001 era, he kind of changed what modern basketball is now. Steph is a finesse version of what the game is. It definitely is now. He ain't changed the game. He just made you shoot more. It's the same game. It's finesse. It ain't as great as people think it is. Most people would love to see Steph all day. He's money now. If something happens to him, who you got? You ain't got nobody but Tatum and the Celtics. That's what people don't want. But they're going to get it. You know, the Celtics may win next year. This may turn into like a Lakers versus Celtic-like type tandem. So if the Celtics come back again, which they will, they'll have a same core. They'll get rid of some few players. I'll tell you the difference. There's a lot of people want to play for the Celtics now. They better act right. And that draft is going to determine what trades and drafts is what going to determine what the Celtics going to do. Celtics going to be solid. Not even KD. That's facts, yeah. But KD's not dominant. Yeah, LeBron's dominant. Period. It's not about who's dominant. He's dominant more like Wilt. He's a Wilt-like player. What we seen in the '60s. LeBron's probably one of the last athletic players I won't see in my lifetime. And the next one up, I hate to say it, is Tatum. He's up there. He's another one. But he's gonna be an upgrade what LeBron is in shooting. LeBron is like a Wilt and Karl Malone type. You'll never see nothing like that ever again. Thing is, Tatum will put in the work. He gonna go this offseason and be better. And what he's gonna realize, you gotta be that monster. See, Steph is done. All Steph has to do is get another championship if the Celtics don't win again. A lot of people don't see Tatum is small like he said right now in the chat, but I disagree with that. Tatum is that dude. He did not do well in the finals. That's good. He's young. He done been in the conference finals, how many times? 5 times? He keeps doing that shit. He ain't gonna bulk up. He's gonna be big as he is. He's just gonna have to be stronger every time and get his hands stronger and his legs stronger. He'll be up there. He's just young right now, but he'll get there. Because Steph is done. I don't see Steph dominating ever again because he's not a dominant player. He's a finesse player. That's what they're trying to sell you. That's the whole Western Conference team, period. Nothing but finesse players. It's nothing special about the West. I like the West. They're fun to watch. I've yet to see a dominant player come out West. That's why LeBron is not a finesse player. The reason he dominated the East, he was dominant already. He was already great anyway. But what hurts LeBron, he ain't got no shooting. So Tatum is a better version of LeBron in shooting. You don't have to be the most dominant beast, but he's dominant in terms of athleticism. He has athleticism. Yeah, same as Tatum, but Giannis ain't. I like Giannis, don't get me wrong. My issue with him, he's in Milwaukee. He's not going to win nothing out of Milwaukee. Get rid of that bad coaching, Milwaukee would be a great team, but they're not. I say Giannis will go back again in the playoffs, and I said championship, but the second person behind Giannis, I said Tatum. I believe I said that last year too, because I said Tatum is good too. That's the only 2 you got in the East. It's really Antetokounmpo and Tatum are the only 2 I would say in that position behind LeBron. That's it, really. You really got much until you see someone come out of high school. Here's the secret. Someone come out of high school like LeBron. They're going to implement that back again in this draft, and you're going to find that person. He's going to be standard, but here's who he's going to compete against. Giannis and Jason Tatum. And the reason I say that is because in that position as a small forward, as a front court guy, he is a bust. Zion's trash. He's through. Zion ain't going to do shit. He's finito. What's going on, Mace? Salute. Zion is finito. From what I can tell, he's finito. I'm saying it's 2 players right now. Giannis and Tatum. In the East, technically, because playoff-wise, they got it. Everybody else is just trash. You got to show me something. Jimmy, they're in the ground, man. LeBron is just the last dominant, like a Wilt-like player mixed with Karl Malone, and I can't say he's Jordan. Let's go on CFR TV. So it's pretty much, you see dominant players all the time. So again, like, I get why people don't see Tatum, but look what team he's on. He's on the Celtics. So that team in Boston, Tatum and Brown, great duo. Great duo. Yeah, he's finally back in shape, but he's still, I don't see him dominating nothing. He should have did that when he got drafted, but he's through. I'm not impressed by him. And here's the thing about Zion has to know about the West. I'm going to tell you a secret about the West. I think the Pelicans will be moved to the East. I don't know if it's true, if they bring Seattle and Las Vegas. And I would love to see the Pelicans go to the Southeast Division. That would make sense. And then Vegas, they already know they're going to the Pacific. And then the Northwest, OKC is going to go down to the Southwest, which it makes sense because Northwest is Seattle. So That's according to 2024 during the election year and the sports year. And I think Adam Silver probably confirmed that. I don't know if he confirmed it, but that's the idea they're going to run with. We got to see how they're going to change shit, because they're going to probably add some more teams, less teams. If they make the game bigger, I'm going to tell you a secret. They're trying to bring a lot of fans in these damn tournaments. I mean, it ain't going to change the difference. Killing the 82 season, that's going to be vote on the players or the owners. It's really about money, because if you play 82 games, it's a lot of money in that. I don't think they want to get rid of it, because, see, they're competing with baseball. Think about baseball. Baseball got 100-something games. Basketball, you got 82 games. That's a lot of fucking games. It's a record. No one has never won 80 games. So if you eliminate that, you're trying to make history, or you're just trying to sell the marketing, don't care about the players. But that's Adam Silver's call, like some owners don't want that, because we don't know what type of league it's going to be. Because, see, the older I get, I'm going to realize the league's changed. It ain't what it used to be. I still remember the 90s and back in the day and reading about how leagues were small. But people going to forget about the 2000s. Sport Build. Have you covered combat sports? Yes. On the Independent Thinking series, yes, with certain individuals like Charles and the likes. I don't talk about it as much because combat sports is a little different than organized sports. And the reason I say that is because it's you. And then your team is on the background. That's your trainer is like your coach. But it's not really a team. You by yourself. You got to memorize all the shit. Rest in peace to New Jack. He said this. He kept his name before his death. And after that, rest in peace to him, because he had that heart thing. He used to be a cocaine addict and all that stuff. He got a book out right now. He can tell you better. Everybody was doing that drug shit. And that's pretty much what I'm seeing now, because in sports, you need that specimen. You need that machine. You need the athletic things. Just like in the military, you need guys to be the super athlete, the super soldier. That's it. Because LeBron's on the decline, and then you got somebody else behind LeBron. So it's the NBA is fine. It's just these guys got to change it. They ain't changing their game. They're going to have the same game. They're just going to enhance their bodies a little bit. And 10 years from now, Jason Tatum's not going to look like that. We don't know what he's going to look like in the future. Because if he starts winning championships, ain't telling what the fuck he's going to wear. Apparel-wise, I don't know what the fuck he's going to wear. See, he looks plain right now in Boston, right? Put some championship rings on his fucking fingers. That nigga be wearing all types of suits. Probably crazy-ass tattoos like Kobe did. Don't get me started. Superstars do some weird shit. But that's what they do. That's how they spend their money on things. But, they got the shoe deal. They got everything. They got backing and all that. But today's players, they don't give a shit. They flex hard. LeBron don't even do that no more. He's up there with Warren Buffett now. He don't need the NBA. Not at this point. LeBron will pick some guys to help him win. It's a formula thing. LeBron will do that. If I see a team that he's trying to build, it's amazing. Now, if he did something like the Kings, for example, and turn that shit, or Cleveland, they're going to be powerhouses for the next 5 to 10 years. See, what people don't understand, NBA's always been about dominance. Same with baseball. Like, these teams, if you take a weak team, like look at Parcells System, for example. Look at Tom Brady's pyramid, what he learned from. That system prospered every fucking time on difficult teams that they can't take to championships. You read by their definition, that's how they win championships. Yeah, they have to cheat and control the refs. I mean, it's gambling and all that. It's always been illegalized gambling. Now it's legal. You do what the fuck you want to do. See, all these teams can take advantage. You're gambling yourself. See, organized sports, you can get away with a lot of shit. Combat sports, you can't. They bet on one person. Floyd showed you that. I don't even fuck with Floyd, but I appreciate how sports is. That's the system we live in. And no matter what country you're in, they're going to scramble that money out. But I'll tell you something. Yeah, the soccer team is winning, though. That's the only... They dominate as an expansion team. Nobody cares about MLS. I mean, I get them on my Yahoo phone, and it's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same. And it's just like, where I see this all the time, you get these moments. So it's like, I see it all the time, but yeah, man. Yeah. But shouts out to the Warriors, man. Like, you know, they won that championship. Like you said, they wasn't ready for the Warriors. Of course they wasn't. But it wasn't just them ready. No, they was ready for them. Yeah, it's high level, but it ain't that. It's just it's the guy that had the most deaths. That was Vince. Vince had the most leading deaths. Shouts out to New Jack for saying this. Of all his fighters taking steroids. Except for ECW. They only have probably one death, and that's it. WCW and everybody else was less, but WWE is known for that. If you're not mainstream, ESPN, WWE is the most talked about because it used to be known as the World Wrestling Federation. I remember that growing up. I don't really care for them as much. I did like certain rosters that were on there on every wrestling league that they had in the South. But I do remember people saying most of those guys came from Texas. I saw this play-by-play recently, and they said, that's right. They said Undertaker's originally from Texas. They said Sting. I didn't know that, but I've heard they were originally, and they moved to different places like California. They move around a lot. Most wrestlers move around a lot, and especially Stone Cold's from Texas, so they all had they start in Texas. But yeah, they may be from there. Some moved to different territories, because these are people that if you're in Texas or Tennessee, where I'm originally from, you know what wrestling is. You see these wrestlers and you see them travel a lot. But if you see them on these big venues, they live in different places. They don't always live where you from now. They done got some money and they start living in places like California, Florida, New York, overseas, and in Japan. They do this shit. They do this shit because it's their tradition to do. So it's pretty much, you see this all the time. So, like I said, organized sports, yeah, like AEW, yeah, that's the new standard now. Actually, I kind of like that. I haven't watched that in a minute. I kind of like that better than the TNA shit. They got some wrestlers that came from other places. Yeah, they purchased all the WCW talent. ECW was their last person. Paul Heyman was weak. He wasn't paying no wrestlers. Shouts out to New Jack for exposing that. You can watch all New Jack's shoots on YouTube. You can watch all his shoots on YouTube. Just type in New Jack. He'll tell you how sorry the wrestling business is. And Vince tried to control him. That shit didn't work. Learning from him and Jim Cornette and a few others, they'll tell you better than I can, because they the guys I used to watch before I started doing content again. This was back in like 2015 when I was watching those shit. So I was like, damn. See, I started watching wrestling in 07. So y'all gotta remember, that was the time I stopped investing in it. Yeah, wrestling's been watered down for years, but not like super watered down now. Now they don't hide it. So yeah, I don't even cover it as much on this channel, but I cover it sometimes. I don't keep up with it like I used to. Older I got, it fizzled out. I do cover boxing a little bit, and sometimes mixed martial arts. Yeah, you know, most of it was scripted. Not all of it was scripted, but the ones was scripted was kind of, I'll say WCW and a little bit of ECW, but they call them shoots, they call them work, but they do work out. But what New Jack said, half of those dudes took steroids and drugs. They did drugs to perform like that. Yeah, they did a training and they do drugs. He the only person that was honest back in the day, and recent shoots when he was alive, rest in peace to him. He died last year. He said all those dudes did it and begged him not to tell. Yeah, predetermined outcomes. Yeah, it's always been predetermined. Most of it, if you see history, the most real wrestling, if you want to go back to the 60s and back in the, I believe, 18th century when Lincoln was wrestling. It was like that. It was scripted because of money. Hollywood got into it. Hollywood fucked it up. Fucked up all sports. Glitz and glamour and shit. Hollywood kind of died out. Some people stopped watching it in 2002 and 03. Yeah, I know a lot of people said that, and I stopped watching it back in 07. I stopped watching this shit back in 07. I was like 19 at the time, so I'm pretty much in my early 30s, I can tell you now, I done seen a lot. So it's pretty much what you see and what you get. But yeah, but back to the topic with the Warriors. That's the team's been around a long time. The pedigree of their championships. So basically, okay, so they won one in 47, I believe. That's one. 56 is their second championship. 75 is their third championship. 2015 is their fourth championship. 2017 is their sixth championship. 2018, 2015, hold on, so the first three, they already got three championships. Their fourth championship is 2015. The fifth championship is 2017. 2018 is their seventh championship. This is their eighth championship. Salute, salute, salute. This is the Warriors' eighth championship. They're already in the stratosphere of the Bulls, team-wise. But the players got 4 rings. 4 fucking rings. 4 fucking rings. Now, next year, I'm predicting they may win another one based off the scheduling in this draft. Warriors still got something in the tape. I mean, a lot of people was going to count them out, but they're a better fit. 4 fucking rings. Player-wise. But the team, 8 fucking championships. Historically, that team has been great since the early days in the 40s. You could say early 50s, well, mid-50s with Paul Arizin. That's the Philadelphia Warriors, the 2 Philadelphia championships they got from the 40s and the 50s. And then in the 70s, 75, great period during the ABA era, and the NBA was weak back then in the 70s. But 75, that was with Rick Barry. That's the last championship. I do remember that growing up, seeing that and watching it and reading about those teams. And I used to play NBA Live and then knowing about how great the Warriors were. Back then, they had a great fan base then. But once they won one in 2015, I was kind of shocked. They had no business winning it, but Warriors was a better fit. It's tradition. That's a 40th year anniversary. 40 years since they've won one. 40 years. And now you look at, they didn't win the next year, but they won one after with KD. That was an upgrade. That was a cheat code to compete with LeBron. So now they had 7 championships this whole time, but I didn't realize it was 8. Damn. 8 fucking championships. The Warriors got 8 championships. If they win the next one, that's 9, that's 10. So the Warriors on their way. They're going to try to eclipse Celtics and the Lakers in the future. If they keep doing this in that same system, Kerr is not going to be around. I mean, the Warriors not going to win forever. I'm just saying in different eras. Depends on the coaching. Who's going to push the system? We got to see, because the system never dies. Every plays don't die. It gets reformatted, and, you know, all sports is different when they have their plays, but it gets reformatted all the time. And certain players fit with certain teams, have certain plays. But it's pretty much what I've seen now. So the Warriors are the Warriors. Warriors. You know, I knew they was going to win this championship in my mind because I didn't want to pick the Celtics to win the championship this year. I had the Bucks winning it, but they were my second pick. Warriors my second pick, and I predicted this finals was going to happen. And my pick, I would say, I thought about picking the Celtics for an upset, but then I said to myself, nah, I'm picking the Warriors. Experience. Something going to tell me it's going to go 6 or 7. 1 to 2. I said it may go 7, but I'm saying it's going to be a game 6. I said 6 or 7. I didn't say game 5. I said 6 or 7. Most people say 5. I said 6 the whole time on this channel. I'm the only person that said that. 6 or 7. My prediction was right. When I predicted it was going to go 6 or 7. Because 6 Warriors, based off execution and things they've played in. So it's pretty much you're in it. So that's all I want to talk about today. But the Warriors did a great job executing and destroying the Celtics and put a dagger in their hearts. And the Celtics will be back next year. Yeah, he has. He has. At first, I didn't want to give it to him. I think we debated about that last year. I wasn't going to give it to him because he haven't showed me that. He has to win a Finals MVP, and I think I said this. He's have to win a Finals MVP, and he has to do it again too. But he surpassed him for now. But we gotta see, can he do it again? I would love to see him do it. I already say he's the face at this point. He ain't the face to me now. In this generation, I would say he would be. He's already up there. If he wins another one, he's already eclipsed LeBron. If he keeps this up and they give him 6, he may not be a Jordan S. I would say he's in that Havlicek area. Once you get to 5 and above, like this is how I rate championship guys that have more championships. If you have 5 championships to 13, I'll say 11 because Bill Russell got 11. Everybody else is in between, and then you got 5 championships. He's in that stratosphere. If Curry's in that stratosphere, you have to give it to him. Is he a little overrated? Yes. But he's a great player that gets the job done? Absolutely. I would say Curry, in our age group, we can say he's the best. He's showing me he can lead. The problem is he was so selfless in the beginning. And I'm glad he's the only player in history that's more selfless in this league, in this sports profession he's in. I've seen that's very consistent to being selfless. Out of all the players, I would say from the Celtics and the Warriors tree or whatever tree, I'll say he's most selfless out of all of them because he's showing you, okay, I didn't get the Finals MVP the first time, but he was unanimous in regular season. So what he was doing, he was a franchise player. He's a traditional franchise player. That's all he is. 2 without KD. Yep, there you go. 2 without KD. I agree with that. Yes. KD can't say shit. And he has leadership. Steph was the leader of those championships when KD won those 2. And Kevin knows that. They around the same age. So we're all around the same age. We know that. And Kevin wants a lot. I'll never forget when I was in the Lexus dealership one time, I tell people the only reason Steph allowed that to happen was KD. They need a LeBron-esque player to compete with LeBron. That's why they got KD. They didn't really care for him. They just used him. Now look at the Brooklyn experiment. Terrible. Brooklyn's going to go to rebuild, and Brooklyn's going to be fine in the future if they get their shit right. They still didn't. I always call them the New Jersey Nets. I always call them New Jersey. I can't call them Brooklyn. I have to call them New Jersey. I remember they was the New Jersey Nets. I know their history. They was known as the New Jersey Americans before they became the New York Americans and all that. Don't get me started. I know the history of these teams. I don't forget nothing. I used to read stats in sports and actually sing the sport, play the sport, and understand it. It's tradition. Football is tradition too. Football's a little different, but I respect it. The ones that played it. I played a little bit of it. I didn't get in depth into it, but I respect the sport, what it is. I asked the true experts in football and their history and the time period they were in. It's beautiful. But the NBA, that's something I always know because basketball is always going to be tradition. Similar to hockey, they both came from Canada at first, but it's all America's sports. In the Americas, if you want to get technical. We don't have to get nationality on it. Let's call it what it is. It's all based in the Americas. So you can say it's American sport. So it's pretty much, basketball's international, just like what they call football, soccer. I got the soccer hat. They're doing great. And the soccer's in Kennesaw Stadium in Cobb County. So yeah, with the college team, so they got areas for them. So it's pretty much what you get, what you see, what you get. So pretty much I've seen sometimes that, teams doing great. But yeah, everybody's mad that the Warriors won. The ones online that is cheering for the Celtics. Shouts out to people that are fake Celtic fans, by the way. But the Celtics going to be fine. The only reason they picked the Celtics, they like Jason Tatum and they like the team triage. Kind of like what you see with the Spurs. But it's pretty much, you see this all the time. So, yeah, I just want to do the stream. It's not going to be long. But shouts out to everybody, man. Shouts out to CFTR, 1Gs, Toya, Mace. Who else? Lonzo. And Pastor. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Yeah, it's just like, I just want to congratulate on the greatest team in the modern era right now, the greatest finesse team, not the physical team, but greatest finesse team I've ever seen that use a system from the Spurs, the Don Nelson system. All that is a complete way to win and be well balanced at the same time. Still a great team. Shouts out to them. And I'm signing off and I'm out. Peace.